Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? It worked. That's crazy. I just hit go live and it basically said live is not available right now. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyways, happy Monday morning. How is it October 5th already? That's what's crazy. I can't believe it. So I got some major problems right now, and I'll tell you what they are in a second as we kill the music. I woke up this morning and I go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna tell you what I did, but I go to the bathroom and dude, the freaking water pressure's like gone. Like there's no water pressure. It won't flush the toilet. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's just the toilet. So then I go over to the sink and it's dribbling out of the sink. This is a problem. So I don't know. Any plumbers in the house? Maybe you can help me, but I hope you guys had I don't have a water pump, so I don't know. That's what Mike said. So guys, this room we're in right now, this is different than normal. So this is downstairs. I've filmed lots of old content in this room, but it's really where I have my arcade games. And this weekend, I completely rearranged this whole room, and I sold a bunch of stuff. So it was weird. I don't usually sell things, as you guys know, and I needed to though because I was totally running out of space in this whole room, the room upstairs, like everything. And I know that we talked about this. Justin and I talked about it on the One Up Weekly, but the hobby has gotten so just hugely out of hand from my perspective that I have machines everywhere, and I never really intended for the machines to just be everywhere. But like my real love is for the original arcade machines. So it was kind of like I had to make this choice. Do I basically keep all my 3/4 scale ones, or do I make make this room back here, the machines that are really important to me, do I kind of make those the focal point and then kind of keep as many as the 3/4 scales as I can? Chris said, super chat, he said that Super Pac-Man Costco looks incredible, but it is already impossible. Thoughts on it? I don't know what you mean by it's already impossible. I don't know what you mean. Maybe, but I appreciate the super chat, Chris. Maybe follow it up with a second message. Don't have to be a super chat, obviously, but yeah, let me know. I'm not really sure what you're talking about there. But I wanted to show you guys what I sold, because what I sold turned into, can't find it at any Costco. Oh, man. That's a bummer. So I gotta admit, Chris, my personal opinion is just, I'm Pac-Man'd out. I mean, I have the 20th anniversary Miss Pac-Man, which I love. Like, that's all I need for Pac-Man. Like, all I need is that Miss Pac-Man, and I'm good. And if you guys can see it back there, that's my pride and joy machine. That's the only one I need. Actually, if you guys watched the channel for a while, I made a Miss Pac-Man Galaga 20th anniversary arcade 1-up, and I got rid of it because I have the real one. So it's amazing. Ralph is there, Jack in that mug. No, why? Why? It's just anyways. Okay, so let me show you what I sold, because you guys will be a little surprised, I think, by this. All right, so I got, oh, that's me. I sold a couple things. So the first was my Toy Shock. I actually took the Toy Shock apart, and if you look here, I think I asked a fair amount for it. Oh, by the way, this is Stringer messaging me. If you didn't see this, I wasn't putting two and two together at all. And I'm in the kitchen with Kim, and I'm like, this guy just messaged me and asked me if the cabinet is waterproof. And she goes, why would he ask you that? And I'm like, I don't know. And so I said, no, why? I'm confused. And he's all, Toy Shark. This is Stringer, by the way. But I didn't find that out till I was on the show with Justin the other day. So I'm like, what the heck was this about? So it was really funny. So I sold the Toy Shock. It was two super cool dudes, right? They were really nice. They came and we were hanging out. We geeked out on arcades. It was really cool, really nice guys. And the funny thing is, one of the guys, this isn't the guy that was coming to buy this, but the other guy saw my Cruisin' Exotica, and he's like, do you want to sell that? And I'm like, well, it's been sitting in the storage unit. I don't necessarily want to keep it, but I didn't really want to sell it either. But anyways, I'll show you. They came and we loaded it up into his truck. I didn't really want to sell it, but guys, it's been sitting in my storage unit for months and months and months now. It's in really good shape. I felt really good. it's fun selling these to people for good prices when you know it's going to someone that's like really gonna appreciate it. And this guy had at one point, so this is where I'm talking about it kind of feeds into like what everyone else is experiencing. By the way, it's freezing in my office. That's why I have this on. I don't know why it's so cold. It's Arizona. It's Arizona, for Christ's sake. But yeah, this guy had 50 machines at one point. I think he said he's got like 6 or something like that, but he has a good collection of arcade games. He's just a really nice guy. The guy that bought the Toy Shock's a really nice guy. We were just talking about arcades. We were talking about how people will gut real arcades and put, Raspberry Pis in them, and just how not cool that is on so many levels, just because it's like these machines are only going to live for so long. I don't know. I'll go back to the chat really quick. I'm curious what you guys think. Like, are you guys okay with someone taking these original machines and completely gutting them? It just seems like, I don't know, it hurts to see someone do that. But anyways, Lewis says I should open up an arcade at this point. I don't know. I don't know about that. Arcades are a dime a dozen right now. I'm not a dime a dozen. That's not what I meant. Arcades are just starting to be a dying breed, which is really unfortunate, especially COVID. So if you do have arcades in your area, definitely, try to support them if you can, if it's safe to go there. I would recommend that because they're going to go away. Yeah, so Natalie says not cool, try to keep it original. We were talking about that because lately in Phoenix, we've seen these posts come up where it's like someone will take a real arcade and completely decimate it. It's nuts. So it's just, and it was running and working. And to me, it's like that kind of keep those things. Like, I don't mind doing those to an arcade one-up. They're already not an original product, and you can do whatever you want with it, or an At Games or a DIY kit. Like, obviously that's what those are designed for. But if it's possible to make these older arcades live on, I think it's really cool. But all right, so check this out. So, all right, hold on. I got one super chat here, or not super chat, but open a chain nationwide. Eminem, that would be really hard to do, man. I don't think I would need investors and all sorts of stuff. Believe me, I would have so much fun with that. But so someone is being congratulated for something, but unfortunately the chat's going by so fast that I missed it. What is it? Who's being congratulated? What's going on? Oh, dude, you just got married over the weekend. Hey, congrats, buddy. That's awesome. Hey, join the club, right? Oh, actually, you know what's funny? I woke up this morning. I don't have my ring on. I take it off at night. Uh-oh. No, I swear, now I feel like I should go get it just in case Kim's watching. No, I take it off at night because sometimes I sleep in a weird way and it cuts off the circulation to my hand, and like my whole hand gets numb, and I wake up and I'm all... Yeah. So, no, congrats, bud. That's awesome. I don't know how to say your name, though. Gatchman? Is it Gatchman? Come on, console kits. You know that I wouldn't intentionally leave it off. All right, so check it out. So I sold that one machine. The other things I sold was, let's see, I'll get to it real quick. I sold the Terminator, which was the Toy Shock. But then you're probably wondering, like, what did I do? Did I sell the Toy Shock with all the modded PC hardware in it? No. And I'll tell you what I'm planning on doing with that. So I sold this guy too. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before, but this is the 24-inch extension arcade. These things are pretty cool. I don't know if you've ever seen these before, but this company is awesome. This is Rec Room Masters. They make a lot of great cabinets. They use awesome control panels. They basically use all HAP joysticks and HAP buttons. They don't provide a monitor. You basically build this and then you put the monitor in it. But the cool thing is it's all set up. The encoders are set up out of the box to support RetroPie. So it's a really cool option if you're looking for a cabinet that's about the same height as an arcade one-up, maybe it's slightly larger. It basically has the riser integrated with it. So it's a pretty cool little cabinet. I love those things. And then I didn't just stop there. I sold one more thing, I believe. Let's see. It was like a selling frenzy yesterday. And the funny thing is usually when I go and try to sell this stuff, nothing ever sells. No, actually, I didn't sell anything else. But I want to show you what I was planning on doing with the Toy Shock. So let me see. I'll try to put these pictures in an order that makes sense. So that's the inside of the Toy Shock. This thing is this PC I just built and I put it inside the Toy Shock. Now I had a couple issues with it in the Toy Shock because the Toy Shock is really, really small inside. And the only way I could get this, because I'm using a Visual Pinball X. So Visual Pinball X sucks CPU, it sucks GPU. Your machine will be going crazy, especially with the highest graphics settings. So I think I'm going to have to put in like, this machine actually has an open air to the back, so it probably won't be as bad, but the Toy Shock would easily get well over 120 degrees in that thing, and a lot higher than that if I let it sit there. So I did have a cooling solution, but it wasn't the best. But anyways, that's the PC that I built. Sorry for this like ribbon cable right there. That shouldn't really be right over the fan. But anyway, I put it in the talk about Rec Room Masters. This is their vertical pinball cabinet. So I put it in here. I was playing some Terminator pinball, which you guys know I love that game. I was playing some AC/DC. So this is really fun. Vertical pinball is interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever played it vertically. I'm going to piss off Ralph. He's seen Outrun already. What? I'm going to piss off Ralph. He's seen Outrun already. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, how do I feel about the Outrun leaks? Are you able to speak on that at all? Okay. I can speak on it. So John D had kind of spilled the beans on, I don't even know now if Justin's in the chat. Maybe he's in there. Maybe he can recall what episode that was, but it was a while back, and he basically confirmed it. I'll tell you this. So if I was going to buy a racing cab, and this is just in general, if you ask me, you can buy one racing cab, arcade one up, other 3/4 scale or full size, it wouldn't be Outrun for me. Outrun, I don't know how to put this. Outrun wasn't the game in the arcade racing game. I would play it, but I remember in my arcade, Outrun was wicked expensive, by the way. I want to say it was like $1 in our arcade to play, so it wouldn't be the game I'd gravitate towards at all. So to me, my game, if someone said, all right, we're going to release a couple of racing games, I'd say Cruisin' USA would be really high on that list. Maybe you could include a couple of the Cruisin' games. That'd be really cool. If it's Midway, or sorry, not Midway. If it's, I'm trying to think if you could do Off-Road Challenge in that cabinet. I don't know if you could or not because of licensing, but that even wouldn't be my number one. My number one would be Daytona. If you could get me a Daytona is like a real, it is the epitome of an arcade racer to me. It's Daytona all the way. So to me, I will not be picking up a Outrun when it's available. It's just, that doesn't interest me. And I know you guys, I don't know if you guys, see, Arcade says Daytona all day long. I know, Daytona all day, every day. That would be even though I would love to have a real Daytona, the problem is, guys, is that sit-down racers, full-size arcade games, they're really big. And that one I sold is gigantic. It's not so bad when you look at just they're tall. They're really tall usually. They have big toppers on them. And a lot of those games were built and designed by the companies so that they could draw attention in the arcade, like the bigger marquee the largest marquees you could put on. And it was cool because it did draw your attention to those cabinets. I mean, think about it. We were watching the arcade auction the other day, and there was a Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and Michael Jackson's Moonwalker had this gigantic topper on it. It was like, just advertising the cabinet. So, some of those, actually someone's mentioned Daytona on Saturn. I didn't mind Daytona on Saturn. I think I live streamed that a little bit. Daytona, I really enjoyed Daytona on the Dreamcast too. So I don't know if you guys played it on the Dreamcast. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I don't know. Put it in the chat. Let me know right now. I want to know from you guys. Outrun in general, not just as an arcade one-up offering, but as a game. If you could buy a arcade, whether it be a 3/4 scale or a full size, would you want Outrun? Put a 1 in the chat if you'd want Outrun, and just put a 2 if you wouldn't want Outrun. I think I screwed up, but 1 is if you want it, and 2 is if you don't want it. So Clocks29 says they want it. All right, we got a couple 1s. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, see, there's more 2s than 1s. I kind of would expect that. Outrun wasn't, Outrun 2, it's interesting because if you play Outrun, it's also really hard for a reason. It was a quarter muncher game. I just feel like a lot of people over time, and it depends. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here, but John D did kind of also confirm the other games on the cabinet because someone in the chat had guessed the game. Okay, I guess the games, and I don't remember. I don't think the games that they were going to even include on the cabinet were all that memorable for me. Outrun was expensive to play. Yeah, see, Garage Gamer, that was me too, dude. In my arcade, it was like $1, and $1 was like $1 billion back then when you're a kid. Even when you're stealing quarters from your mom, so or your stepfather or your parents, whatever. Okay, so yeah, it seems like there were a lot of twos. But here's the thing: if you're into modding, it might be cool. If you like the artwork of Outrun and you're into modding, it might be a cool cabinet to buy and then mod it. So that could be something that you do too. Yeah, I mean, it's I forgot to tell you guys, I got something that I've been waiting. Justin, I hope you're still here because you'll be excited by this. So I've been waiting for almost 3 months to get this, and it finally came in the mail. I think Justin's going to be like, why did you buy this? But I'm such a Sega fan that I just had to get this. So I don't have any other cameras set up down here. Like I said, I'm still trying to get situated down in this room. My camera lens has been updated. So Stringer Films, thanks, buddy, because I feel like this camera lens is way better than the one I was using. I got lighting down here now. I just don't have I don't have a secondary camera set up or anything like that at the moment. But this guy right here. So I'm going to try to get this light on it. So it's also, let's see if we can get, so this is a Model 2 Genesis that someone, I know you're getting a lot of reflection, so I'll try to hold it like this. This is a Model 2 Genesis. It comes with regional switches. So right here on the side, or on this side, you've got region switches. So you can switch it from Americas to, I don't know, APJ, I guess, and EMEA. Then you have stereo audio out right here. And you've got, I know this is cool, right? Then over here, you've got your RGB SCART. You have an RGB SCART out, and then you have regular composite out. And then I think there's just a power. But this thing is like really freaking cool. I was super stoked to get this. I've been trying to get this for a long time. I love it. I'm like completely stoked about this. There's your power button and your reset button. So this is like, I'm loving it. I know it's like almost like I want to frame it and put it on the wall, right? It's just, this is cool. Oh shoot, I just got coffee on me. All right, hold on. Let me get my camera back in focus here. Yeah, I'm stoked on this. So yeah, but it was one of those weird things where every now and then, thank you Stringer for the super chat, by the way, said that's one sharp mother. Or mother, whatever. That guy right there. So this wasn't from Etsy. Every now and then you'll find independent vendors on AliExpress that homemade things, and that was a homemade thing. So it was just a vendor I found on AliExpress. I don't remember what I paid for it. I don't think I want to remember what I paid for it because I don't think it was cheap. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it because it's so pretty. I almost don't want to play it. Like, it's so awesome. I just want to like hang it. Yeah, right. I want to put it in like a display case and hang it on the wall or something. I mean, how badass is it, right? It's awesome. I'm so blown away by this thing. So there was one other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I can't keep it super long today. I'm going to go over here and grab something. I'm going to slide this way. So I'm going away now. I'm trying to get hey Chris, how's it going? Hey everybody, by the way, I'm sorry, I usually try to go in and say hello to everyone, but I was a little bit thrown off guard because literally 2 seconds before the stream started, I tried to flush our toilet and like there's no water pressure in the whole house. I'm like, that's awesome. So it's going to make for an awesome morning. Stringer, is that case waterproof? No, it's not. So I have been trying to not only locate Sega 32X games, but also try to find the ones that I have in my collection, and then also buy some new ones if I can find them at good price. Now, Chris Geizot, who's in the chat, who's a good friend of the show, good friend in general to me, like personal friend, and he actually got me a Mortal Kombat 2. So I have a Mortal Kombat 2 that he got me, and it's still in the box, and I still have that, buddy. But the reason why I'm trying to find these and get them all rounded up is because I'm buying the 32X adapter for the Polymega. So I'm excited because I do have some 32X carts. I don't have that many. 32X is one of those systems that there are people that really hated it and there are people that really loved it. I found Virtua Racing pretty good on the 32X. Doom is pretty fun on the 32X. So we'll definitely be streaming some 32X stuff as soon as the Polymega comes out. So I don't know if you guys are excited. Justin and I did a whole episode on the Polymega. I feel like it kind of, after there was some of that drama around it being FPGA or not being FPGA, it kind of fell off the map. But I'm excited. There's a lot of crap titles on the 32X too. But from a collector perspective, they're still somewhat reasonably priced, so you can still usually pick up titles. Now, finding them in box with manuals isn't necessarily easy to do. So Chris had found a pretty good Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know if you remember that, Chris, but you got me that Mortal Kombat 2. And the Mortal Kombat 2 version on 32X is actually pretty good. At least I think it is, so. You remember that, right? So do you guys have did any of you guys love the 32X, or are you just like, no, not having it? Or are you just not having the 32X? I liked it. I actually bought RGT85's book when it came out. He has this section in his book. If you guys are interested in the history of 32X, yeah, someone's saying Sean Powers says he loves his. If you're interested in the history of 32X, definitely go check out Sean's book, RGT85. For those of you who don't know, he if you go to Amazon, I think you just look up 32X RGT85 or something like that. It should come up. It's a cool book because he has this whole section in the back of games that were supposed to come out that didn't come out. And there was a couple games on there that I'm like, man, it would be really cool if these actually came out. Now, the other thing that Chris got me, Chris went to a store and he found a Sega Cdx and he goes, Ralph, do you want this? And the Sega Cdx is one of those systems. I didn't actually think we'd be talking about this, but since we're talking about Sega and I brought that up, it's probably a good time to talk about it. But I had a Sega Cdx as a kid. I begged my parents for it. I think I pitched in a little bit of money or allowance or something to get it. But I remember loving that system. But it was weird because it didn't do anything different than my normal Sega Genesis, outside of it had a Sega CD built into it. But I had a Sega 32X, and I remember thinking how weird it looked, but I thought it looked cool. And when I look at it now and you put a 32X on top of a CDX, it looks really weird. But I remember putting it on there and looking at it and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. That's what everybody wants. That's hot. And it looked like a weird, had a big ass sticking up in the back. I don't know. It was just weird. It didn't look good. But I don't know. Was the Sega 32X $400? No way. My parents would have never paid $400. That's what Lewis is saying. There's no way. My parents would never, ever in a million years pay that. So is it really? There's no way the MSRP was that much. Someone find out. Oh, no, it's the CDX. That's what I meant. Really? No way was it 400. Someone validate that. I'm getting some confirmation. That seems like it was... Clack said it was 149. Wait, I think you guys are confusing the 32X and the Sega CDX. The CDX was 349. Man, there's no way my parents would have. Maybe they were liquidating them or something at the time, because I wouldn't have got it when it was new anyway. So maybe they were for sale. I don't know. That's crazy. So what else is going on with you guys? Is there anything you guys want to talk about that's top of mind? I do want, the intention of this show originally was to talk about things that, it could be life stuff, right? It could be just anything. And we have a little bit more time. I do have to get my son ready for school, or whatever this is, this homeschool thing. It's not really school, but whatever. By the way, I have to bring this up. So I was watching, did you guys watch the South Park on coronavirus by chance? If you did, put a 1 in the chat, but it's pretty messed up. But there's this scene where Cartman he's sitting there getting ready for class. You guys saw it, put a 1 in there. Okay, so he's getting ready for class, and they're like, Cartman, he's like, oh, hey, I'm so excited for school today. And then she's like, oh, Cartman, are you having computer problems again? And he's all, yeah, I am. And then he has a picture of himself frozen that he puts in front of the camera on a tripod. I think that's so funny, because I would be surprised if there's kids actually doing that. It made me laugh so hard, and it was funny because Kim fell asleep. And I laughed so hard at that part that she woke up. When she wakes up, she wakes up like crazy startled, like almost it's weird. She gets like terrified when she gets up out of bed. If you wake her up, she's all and you're like, oh my god, you're like ready to perform CPR or something. She like literally seems like she has a heart attack when she wakes up. And then the funny thing is she just lays back down. It's the weirdest thing. Like Kim doesn't do anything creepy, but that it's super creepy. And it's consistent. Like if you startle her while she's sleeping, she'll be like, and you're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And she just falls back down. You're like, what the hell was that? It freaks me out every time she does it, even though I know it's coming. My kids used to do a weird thing like that too. My son Tanner would wait, hold on. Can you tell me why you are still wearing the same shirt from Arcade Show? Arcade Show? What arcade? Oh, was I wearing this during the thing? Oh. All right. Was it really? Well, I can't really give... Al says it's not creepy. Just give her CPR. I don't think that would work out well. Well, right now I can't do laundry, apparently, because there's no water pressure anywhere. I wanted to see if I could... Oh, the other thing I played with this weekend is this. I'm not that happy with this, though. Hold on, I gotta get it really quick. Ah, crap. I started playing with this thing, the Sharpen Mini, which is like a mini virtual pinball. I didn't finish it yet, but I'm not really very happy with it, to be honest. It's like it's a little tabletop pinball. It looks just like the Sharpen Ultra, but I'm just not that happy with this. I bought it with my own money. It wasn't provided to me. I love the Sharpen Ultra, but there's like weird things like the way it mounts the display. You've got this like little gap right here. Yeah, it's not great. It's a 3D printed case basically. I mean, I get it. It's cost cutting, but then your tablet mounts to the bottom. It's just not great. I'll show you. It doesn't look bad though, because I got like it's a 1080. Or I mean, it's not 1080. I can't remember the actual resolution of this screen. The resolution on the screen's pretty nice. Here, I'll bring up Zen Pinball really fast so you can see it. It doesn't look bad. I just kind of expected a bit more from it. I'm sure if Mike's here, he's going to be like, that thing sucks. Mike's a hardcore V-Pin guy, so this would be lame to him, which I don't really blame him. It's not the greatest. So here, I'll show you. Let's see, single player. I don't have the sound on right now. I had turned it down because I was playing with it late at night. So I mean, it's not terrible. You know, it's all right. The problem I'm having is the other thing is they didn't. Yeah, it's Android. Well, that's what all these. By the way, all these 3/4 scale pinball machines are all going to be Android. By the way, the thing that I think people are forgetting though, there's one thing, and I'm gonna Arcade 1-Up fanboy out a little bit for a second here for good reason though. Hold on. So out of all the pinball offerings, that is really a big Android case. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's a case to put here. But the thing, so I'll tell you really quick before we go off that topic, he forgot to ship me the encoder board. Now, I know those are early access. Even though I paid for it, he sent it out early because I said I'd love to get my hands on it and do some videos and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. And he sent it out early, which is cool, but he forgot the encoder board. And if you guys have ever tried to find an encoder board for an Android tablet, the compatibility is not as open as like you would think that the same encoder board that works for like an NVIDIA Shield would work for that, but there's only like a couple model encoder boards that I found work with it with certain Android tablets, and I've literally used every encoder board I have and I can't get it to work right. So I'm kind of bummed out. I know the model he ships, but he's not going to be able to ship it to me really quick. So unfortunately right now I have to play it with my fingers, and that's just kind of annoying. So Ralph is purposely trying to annoy me at 10:30. Yeah, exactly right. It is, Al, I agree. It's perfect for a desk, but the problem is that I don't know. I just don't love it. It's a 3D printed case, you know? So it's just, I don't know. If you played with the original Sharpen and then you play with that, it just feels so cheap. I wish he would have just made it with wood. It would have been so much better. I know it would have been more expensive, but it would have been great. So getting back to virtual pinball, I'm kind of hopeful that I was talking to John D over the weekend, and I was trying to weasel my way into getting a pinball update. I didn't really get one. John D's a really good guy, by the way. Like, I have a pretty decent, I think, personal friendship with him at this point. And I'm just like, what's going on? And he said, he didn't give me an update on it, but the one thing that I love that they're doing is Zen is really anal about how this thing comes out. So some of the prolonged time, I don't think necessarily has to do with Zen, but Zen is doing like extensive testing to make sure that the haptic feedback is spot on, that they can get the most out of the graphics, out of, the processor. I don't know. I haven't seen the processor that Arcade 1-Up's planning on using, but whatever it is, they're trying to squeeze out every little bit they can. And keep in mind, this is more of a development effort on Zen's part than it is Arcade 1-Up. Arcade 1-Up really isn't doing anything other than putting their name on it. This is like almost exclusively designed by Zen. So think about it, right? They don't sell, Zen sells virtual pinball software. They don't sell necessarily at-home units. So it's important that this goes well. If it doesn't go well, Zen's name is on this too. So it's mostly Zen. So I think that's really cool that they're going through, like they're going the extra mile. And I think they're trying to make sure that when this thing comes out, it's solid. It will be Android based, right? But I think they're going to squeeze a little bit more out of it than what you can out of a tablet and stuff. I think they're going to really try to go the extra mile. Okay, Peter Griffin, thank you for the super chat. Says, Ralph, I really, really need an Arcade 1-Up size Donkey Kong cab. Can you help me out? Build one for me or tell me where to look. I'll pay $1,000. Okay. Peter, I don't build systems for, profit. It's just not what I do. And I don't have the time anymore to build them really. I mean, I for all intents and purposes, my modding projects have come down to little projects because I just can't do these big, huge scale arcade projects. There's actually a company out there, depends on, I don't know how to do, grinds my gears. Ralph, I really want an Arcade 1-Up size Donkey Kong cap. Oh crap, the chat's gone. Hold on. Let me bring it back up. Hold on, Peter. Hey Ralph, I really need an Arcade 1-Up sized Donkey Kong cap. Can you help me? Build one for me or tell me where to look. I'll pay $1,000. So that grinds my gears. There's a company out there. So does it have to be 3/4 scale? Would you actually consider doing a close to full size Donkey Kong? There's a company out there that makes a full size reproduction Donkey Kong cabinet, and then they sell all the parts. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able. Let's see if we can find it right now. So I think I missed a super chat though. Hold on, let me just make sure I get to that really quick. And then I gotta go soon. All right, so Stringer Film says I need an Arcade 1-Up Donkey Kong Drunky Kong card. So I don't know if you guys saw that from the show. I have a cart that's like a little flask that someone gave me. All right, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this website. I'd never advertised for them. I would love to get this cabinet and just see the quality of it. So I can't really vouch for the quality, although it seems pretty good. Let me see. Donkey Kong Reproduction cabinet. There's a really cool company, and I can't remember. Is it Arcade Shop, maybe? It looks great, and the thing is, they give you all the parts you need for it. Okay, here it is. Oh, it's out of stock right now, but let me pull this up really quick. So here's the company that makes it. It's Arcade Shop, and they make, I think they have other colored ones too. But the cool thing is, so let's say you get the base cabinet. It is $400, but it's this whole entire cabinet you see right here. By the way, I have no idea what kind of legalities they have doing such a thing, but whatever. We'll put that aside for now, but it has everything. So you have the monitor bezel, which this is glass, right? So it's all like original reproductions. It has the Nintendo coin instructions. I mean, look at their Donkey Kong control panel overlay is basically, it's a full reproduction. I think they'll even sell it to you with all the controls on it already there. So this is pretty cool. You could check them out. I bought their side art for the Donkey Kong I have, which is in storage, but it's here. So yeah, it might be an option, because guys, you're not gonna see. I highly doubt you're going to see any of these companies producing any kind of Nintendo properties, unfortunately. All right, Ben, how's it going, buddy? Super chat. He said the problem is they have so many people anticipating pinball that if it's not perfect, people will riot. I know. And guys, pinball is, I'm actually shocked that we have so many people excited for virtual pinball, because real pinball is so awesome. Virtual pinball is good. Don't get me wrong. And it's, but you, in order for it to be amazing, you, and Mike's here, you have to spend a lot of money. Like, you gotta have, I mean, you don't have to have a 4K screen, but it helps. You get really high, 1080p or higher playfield, 1080p or higher backglass. You get, you're doing it with Visual Pinball X. You have a really great GPU, so you can enable all of the great, ball physics and everything. And if you do that, it's freaking amazing. I guess if you have never, the problem is if you've ever experienced that, and then you go to what these are going to be, you're going to be disappointed. So that's the problem, is like, if you've ever even dabbled in virtual pinball, the more expensive, build it yourself, you'll have a really hard time with these Android-based products. But maybe everyone will be, I don't know, maybe everyone will be happy with it. I don't know. It's just weird. It's actually kind of odd, because virtual pinball is the one hobby that I had that I never felt was mainstream. Like, it was never mainstream. And I think people tried to make it mainstream for a while, and it just stayed in that hobbyist realm. So this is the, Toy Shock, they did a really bad job, guys. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. That was a very crappy, if it was meant to be a toy, that's fine, but that, using that as an excuse is kind of lame. But that wasn't a very good offering. Some people didn't mind it, but it was really bad, trust me. The ball was real floaty and slow. It's just, I'm shocked right now that something that was very niche-y is becoming mainstream. I want it to be good, and I hope it is, but there's this part of me that's like, you might not get this right the first time around. I hope that they do. Maybe Zen is going to be so anal that it's going to be spot on and awesome, but I hope that's true. I hope that's true. But anyways, pinball is one of those things. If you thought that Arcade 1-Up was going to be a gateway drug to full-size arcades, wait till you do virtual pinball. If you even consider dabbling for a second in modding it or building it, you're going to be like, what? I just spent $300 on a graphics card? What? I just spent $200 on a motherboard? What? I just spent, like, trust me, guys, it will add up, and it will become a very expensive hobby, because you'll be like, oh, I want it to be this much better, and I want it to be this much better, and I want to enable these features. I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind. If you go down the rabbit hole of virtual pinball, it's going to blow your mind. So this might act as a huge, gigantic, and it will be worth it, Mike, to Mike's point. It will blow your mind. I don't have quite as good a setup as Mike has. My virtual pinball machine I had before, I had this thing, actually. I've never, what's really unfortunate is I never did a video on it, because I don't think I had the YouTube channel at that point. This is how I started virtual pinball. It wasn't a build it yourself. It was this thing. So I started with the VP Cabs Vertigo. It wasn't this particular one, but that's what I started with. I started with this guy, and it has a 1080p screen. It has a good graphics card. It plays vertical arcade games too. So it has a little joystick, which isn't a great joystick, but it has a joystick and 3 buttons. So, but this was what I started with. And I loved this thing. The only thing I didn't love is playing virtual pinball standing up is kind of not great long term, because you kind of want to see the play field straight. So that's when I built a virtual pinball, like a smaller one, and then I bought a 42-inch playfield one, which that one was okay. Then I did the Toy Shock. So I've done a lot to experience it, better high quality screens and things like that, and it's awesome. But Mike, the puppy packs thing. So there's this whole thing called puppy packs, which will trigger events within a game. Like it'll play like a full motion video clip or music or whatever. It's just, there's so many pup packs. Yeah, I used to call them puppy dog packs, but I think that's just because whatever. But pup packs. So puppy backs. What's puppy backs? All right, I think you meant puppy packs. So yeah, it's a whole other world. So I think everyone that's like all into this virtual pinball, just wait. You guys think there's I'm telling you, mark my words. Everyone is gonna go. You think you're broke now? Wait till that happens. You're gonna be super broke. And I don't even know if GameStop is gonna be able to carry a high price item like that. All right, we're coming up on the hour. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before we go? I got a couple more minutes, and then I gotta get my son going because I'm sure he's still sleeping. Okay, we had that super chat by Ben. Thank you, buddy. He said the problem is with virtual pinball is there's so many people anticipating that if it's not perfect, they're going to riot. I totally agree with that. Cursed Existence says, are you going on about those mythical Arcade 1-Up pinballs again? I mean, guys, it's got to come out soon. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what chats I might have missed here. There's so many. You guys have it flying. I was kind of going on my diatribe, which I often do. Let's see. And then don't forget, oh, wow, there's a lot in here. So don't forget this. There's a huge DIY community. Someone mentioned it, and it's so true. There's a huge DIY community around, At Games Pinball Thoughts. Arcade Eric says, At Games Pinball Thoughts. So At Games on paper, the specs look really good. But at least, so there's one thing. So if I look at the Arcade 1-Up side of the house, I know what games I'm going to expect, right? What I showed you on that tablet, the Zen app, I mean, you're going to probably get most of those access to those Zen games, and then whatever games they choose on that themed cabinet. So we know what we're going to get there. Zen's involved. I really like Zen. I think they do a great job. Their games tend to be a little bit more arcadey at times, some of them, and a little less about, a little, I don't know, I don't want to call it less accurate, but a different experience. Now on the At Game side of the house, the specs look a lot more. I'm shocked that if they're able to give that device that they're talking about with those specs, get that out with that price point that they're talking about, that'll be kind of crazy. But we don't know what games they're going to put on that yet. So, and I know everyone will say, oh, bring your own game, but I am interested in the device coming out of the box with good titles. They're partnered with Farsight Studios. Farsight Studios has some good properties. So we'll see what out of the box, what are they going to come with? Because the novice user is not going to want to go through the effort to load the games and stuff. Pinball's a bit of a different beast when it comes to loading games. Unless you're using like Pinball FX3 from Steam or something. But I don't even know that that's going to necessarily work out of the box for At Games either. So, and you would be streaming it from the cloud if you're not doing Arcade Netlink. So Arcade Netlink, I think it's what it is. Yeah, so I don't know, we'll see. I guess I'm like optimistic that it'll be good, but it's just been spreadsheet specs so far, so it hasn't really been anything tangible, right? We haven't seen a picture. We don't even know what it's going to look like. I mean, we had that leak that Justin and I had, but I will say this. I never got a chance to talk about this. I think that leak is Justin used an interesting word, is a good candidate. So I think that was a candidate at one point. It was going on their website. So for whatever reason, they pulled it down, but it was live for some period of time. I confirmed that. It was live on the website at some point, and then it was taken down. So if it was an artist rendering, it was something they thought they could pull off potentially. And by the way, the other thing, that mini cabinet, the mini Arcade 1-Up, or the mini, At Games ALU, did exist. I saw it with my own eyes, so I forgot all about that. At CES, I actually saw it. That interview I had with David McIntosh when he worked over there, I saw that. It was behind, there was a banner, and they had it behind the banner. And behind the banner, they showed it, but you couldn't take pictures of it or video because I don't think they were committed to releasing that as a product, but it even said like QA on it or something. Like it was going through quality tests. So yeah, it exists. So to call it fake news isn't really, it's not fake. It actually is real. Whether they release it or not, that's different. They may not release it. The pinball, yeah, it's probably just the pinball is probably just a, maybe a rendering, but whatever. The At Games Mini was suggested to be not produced by their at the time marketing firm. Yeah, real quick, we'll end on this because I got to get my son breakfast and figured out. But would you want an At Games Mini that was the size of an Arcade 1-Up? Would that be interesting to you? I kind of feel like, personally, I like the size of the ALU. It's not like it takes up that much space, really. But the height is nice. It's actually nice because the one thing I do like about it is it feels more like a real arcade cabinet, although it's narrow, it's skinny, it's not as deep. But I don't really think they should release a 3/4 scale one at all. I think that was the thing that differentiated them, right? Would you guys want that? Give me a 1 if you think that that's a good idea for them to create that 3/4 scale one. I don't know. I think the jury's still out whether they'll actually do it. Or I guess a 0, whatever. Zeros, I always mess it up. Yeah, I don't really know that I'm necessarily into that. Yeah, I think most people like the way it... Justin put a 1. See, I don't know. I always mess it up. But anyways, I gotta go. We gotta go wrap it up. So I'll play some final thoughts. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts real quick on how you think. Is this setup cool down here? Would you rather me be upstairs where I normally would be? Because there are some opportunities to do some cool things down here with the arcade games and stuff like that. We could potentially move around this room, and it could be fun. So give me a 1 in the chat if you enjoy this new setup down here. This is by far not where I'll be streaming most of the time, but I thought for Coffee Talk it's cool because this is my workspace. So as soon as we shut this off, we're in work mode. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Oh, wow. All right, you guys like it. Cool. More in focus down there. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Stringer? Yeah, so I got to thank Stringer. So he gave me the recommendation for this lens. It looks really good down here. I'm excited. It's almost too good. You see like pores in my skin. I don't know about that. But yeah, that's it, guys. Next video, I don't know what it's going to be. I know this is really nichey and weird, but my next video is going to be how to replace a light gun on a arcade cabinet, because I have one that's bad right now, so I was going to do a replacement. I realize not many people, maybe people will be interested in the process, but it's not like people are replacing arcade light guns very often. So that was going to be my next video. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I'm in the mood for this week. All right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. Give us a thumbs up on the way out. And also, if you do subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be informed of future videos just like this one. That's it, guys. I appreciate you hanging out on a Monday morning. I'm going to try to get a video out this week. It'll be a mystery video. I don't know what it's going to be. It might be a live stream, might be produced. I don't know. It's just whatever I'm in the mood for, or whatever I have time for as well. So, all right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. And if anybody's a plumber, DM me on Facebook, because the plumbing's totally trash in this house. So, peace out.